Well, hello there. Howdy, howdy, hi. It's been too long once again. I'll be honest with you, I've been very self conscious lately. So that's a huge reason I've not wanted to stream, but I'm going to do it anyways. Because, sometimes when you don't feel like doing something, that's when you need to do it. So I'm here because the last few days have just been trash. There's a lot of trash going on out there. And it's really disheartening because it's been a long 3 years, friends. And to see the way people are still just like ripping into one another and tearing each other down and calling names and being ridiculous. It just breaks my heart. So I'm here to kick it up a notch, to spice things up, to tell you that there's more to life than Twitter and X and social media because there really is. It's, for even someone like me who easily puts things into perspective, is easy going. Like water off a duck's back, right? I don't let things get to me too much. But it hurts. It hurts when you see people that you thought were friends or you thought were allies or you thought one or the other thing about them, and then you come to find out, when people are hurt or people are down or whatever it is that they're going through, they're not your friend. They're not interested in building you up or helping you out or coming alongside you and encouraging you. And I tend to want to just either ignore it, right? Which you have to do sometimes. Sometimes you have to ignore, the hate. So here's a thing. Here's something I thought about. As someone who puts herself out there in the public light, and I don't have a huge following. I love every single one of you. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting me over these years, especially. And hello to anyone new out there. This is a different kind of PulseChain channel. I don't talk about the price. I don't talk about coins. I don't talk about charts. I talk about Richard a lot. I talk about what Richard has written a lot. I talk about being positive, staying mentally healthy. I don't have any kind of degree in any of that, but I've got a lot of experience in picking myself up off the ground, dusting myself off, and just moving right along. So I try to bring that to this space. That's where I feel I can do best. And that's part of what I like to encourage, is that you don't have to be someone who does TA to do content. You don't have to be someone who gets charts and math and numbers to do content or to build on PulseChain or to build up PulseChain or to be part of our PulseChain community. You can just be you and do what you do. In fact, one thing I did this morning is I was just talking about the plants that I'm growing. What are you growing? Figuratively, literally. What are you doing to make a difference in this world, to bring about change, to do something positive? What is it that you're doing? And if you have the energy or the the want or any little inkling of wanting to do this, I say go for it, because we need more voices in this space. We especially need more positive voices in this space. And I've realized, or really been thinking about it. I'll get to chat in a minute, by the way. I've realized or just been thinking about some things recently. One of them, and I want to start with this because of the ecosystem that we're in, of the way everyone is feeling, lots of people are feeling right now, and how I see a lot of people putting words in Richard Hart's mouth. Those of you that may not know, Richard Hart was the what does Sexlina say? I can't say that word. Philanthropist? There you go. The philanthropic genius behind HEX and PulseChain and Ink and PulseX. He wrote 2 books, 2 of them. I happened to do the audiobooks for both of them for free. And did a lot of content editing. Did a lot of this work because I love it. And all that to say that because I've studied SciVive so much, and because I have watched a lot of Richard's streams, I think people have forgot who he is. And here's the big point that I want to make. And the thing that I know, the little inkling that I can provide to you on this day here, on the Sunday, the 28th of April, 7:17 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Richard Hart is still who he has always said he is. Richard Hart doesn't change his mind very easily or very often, and sure as hell has not changed his mission in this world to make your life better. That's what he wants. He wants to make your life better. He wrote a whole book about it. But you have to be able to want to help yourself, right? And how do I know this? How do I know this? I know this because during the time that I was working on SciVive, editing the content, doing the grammar, punctuation, fact-checking things, making sure that anything that was in there that may not have been actually written or said by Richard was quoted correctly and referenced correctly. I had the pleasure, the ability to every now and then get a reply from Richard about things that we were working on in SciVive. One of the biggest takeaways for me was that, and I see Max in the chat. Max, if you can remember, tell me when was SciVive written? I want to say it was like 2017. I think he started writing it in 2017 or 2018. Now, I did this work in 2022, most of it. The majority of the work on SciVive was 2022. And when I asked Richard, is there anything in here that we need to change? Has your opinion changed? Have you, has your worldview changed? And I'm not saying that he's not someone, I mean, he's definitely someone who grows, learns. Another example I'll give you, little snippet of something that I also know, is that at first, and I think in SciVive even, his view of AI was not what it is today, for sure. So there is something that he has changed, right? Because I think because the technology has changed, because he's learned more about it, because it's become what it is now, right? When he wrote SciVive, AI not so great. AI not good for all the things, right? The point I'm trying to make is that Richard wants to make the world a better place. He wants to make your life better. He wants to make my life better. And that's still who he is. So I'm gonna go ahead and share 2 clips with you that I found that I just think are worth sharing. So let me bring these up real quick. Shout out to hexsearch.io. Shout out to everyone out there putting in the work on your own damn time and your own dime, because there's a lot more of you out there doing that than there are haters and these people out here complaining about shit and trying to find something wrong with you, or look into your wallets and see what it is that you're doing, or complain about some bullshit that you did however long ago. That's not helpful. That doesn't help anyone. The real scammers are out there. The real people that you need to worry about that are going to extract money or are extracting money from this community, they're out there. Right? Those are the people that you need to worry about and have your eyes on. So there's that. All right. Let us go to this little clip. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Share this. Let me know if for some strange reason you cannot hear this, but hopefully you can. Let me get to this window. All right, here we go. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear the sound.
And then we could spread truth instead of stupidity. Because they're listening to wrecked plebs instead of winners. So crazy. Yeah, maybe I join that in a minute. Or create a room in a minute, maybe. Let's go through your chat a little bit more here, and then maybe we'll do that. Very high likelihood. Put it at 85%. Best thumbnail so far. Thank Hexologist for that. Hexologist does these out of the kindness of his heart. I love these volunteers. I love you, Hexicans. Thank you so much for helping out. You guys moderate all the communities for free. I really appreciate you guys doing that. The communities would be unbearable without it. We need that help to get rid of all this spam that's constant, never ending, and help save people from getting scammed. Really appreciate that, moderators. Thank you so much. You know, look at how much the community's done. The community is hosting this bridge, you know, like the Hex community, Pulse community, Pulse Hex community, really fabulous, wonderful people. Pleasure to be a member.
All right, that was one. I'm going to switch over to one more here.
God. What's your opinion on Pulse-related meme coins? Look, man, if I didn't build it, the stuff usually has problems. And sometimes the problems are critical and deadly and goes to zero. I do not advocate or advertise or allow to even be talked about in my chat other projects. So if I have the time one day to go and try and look at other people's projects to try and see if they're any good or not, to see if people should buy their ticker symbols instead of the ones that I invented, you know, when am I going to get that time? So look, I hope lots of awesome stuff launches and I hope it works out for everybody. But I neither have the incentive to spend my time advertising their stuff. Like, why would I do that? By the way, like, when have you seen Vitalik advertising the ERC20? Vitalik doesn't even yield farm. He doesn't like use Ethereum. He just sits on it. He doesn't use it. He just sits on it. So like, you know, look at the incentives. How many times has the Hex community been burnt by coins that have targeted it directly? A couple times. And it's to the detriment of the Hex community. Anything that targets Hexicans, it's usually worked out very poorly for them. And so I, in general, don't like it. And then if you're going to on-ramp other users that aren't Hexicans, aren't Pulsicans, if you're going to on-ramp them from other places, well, then there's less risk to the people that I care most about. And so enjoy the low fees, enjoy the world's largest airdrop, but you're not going to see me shilling random coins just because they're on the Pulse network. Why? So people can get wrecked? And some of these coins have already rug pulled. There was some coin called Pulse Moon, rugged. So like, no, my opinion of these duct tape on the word Pulse to your garbage, horrible rug pull idea, it disgusts me. I don't like it. So look, hopefully there's some guys that have ethics and morals and launch good things and don't harm people. Go and make it on your own. You don't need me diluting my community and risking my community's health and their funds on your experiment. Like, so. Well, I have the best interests of my community in mind, and like, we've seen these things before, and I'm very, 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 very weary of them. Hey, Richard, can we sacrifice our ERC20 hex and get PRC20 hex?
All right. That was it. There's plenty more where that came from. And you know, one of the things that I really want to do or want to spend more time doing, to be honest with you, is watching Richard. I feel like people talk about how he just disappeared. Richard's not here anymore. Blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? You know, here's another point I was going to make earlier. and I kind of started talking about this, but then got derailed. Getting to be someone who is here publicly sharing things with you and getting any minuscule comment hate wise hurts. It hurts. And I don't know, I can't remember exactly the quote, but it's like it takes what feels like 10,000 thank yous to make up for that one asshole who told me today that doing isn't worth a thing. So I cannot imagine. I can hardly imagine what it felt like for Richard to have that constantly thrown at him. And now a lot of you may have like had this revelation already and understood that. But it's taken me the last 3 years. Like I was just getting into this community right before Richard stopped streaming. I didn't know who Richard was when I did SciVive the first time. I had no idea who he was. That's why I did SciVive, was so I could find out who he was. I just happened to think I need to read his book. Happened to be like, I should record myself. There's no audio version of this. And that's how I found out who Richard was, which is why I do what I do. Because to have invested in a coin and then found out who its founder was, and then find out who he is and what he's like and what he wants to see happen in the world. You know, I can't think of the word, but it's like I was not like I didn't know, you know what I mean? Like I took him for granted. I feel like I took him for granted, but only because I didn't know, right? Like I had not been in crypto, and I feel like it's a good thing that he hasn't been streaming over the last 3 years. Like he would have, I mean, any person less like weaker minded would have lost their shit and just, you know, Britney shaved their head, or what, you know, who knows? Who knows? Because that's so much hate to deal with. Even the little bits of hate that I've gone through and felt and seen. It's it's like a black hole, right? It just keeps expanding and it sucks you in. And it's like I want to, even though I know that giving my energy to that, to even be thinking, to even be having this conversation or having to talk about it, I shouldn't have to do that. I should just, like I said, water off a duck's back, move on with my life, and, you know, keep going. I grounded myself today. That's part of why the thumbnail is what it is, because I just felt so heavy and so hurt watching all this happen and having myself be attacked and having the people that I care for and work with and am surrounded by underappreciated and attacked for absolute ludicrous things that are just it's just such a story. I get it. You're bored. You need something to do. Go do something positive. Go make a change. And I want to read some of these comments now because I saw RH Max say something I really wanted to. So, yes, Agent J 100%. Buy more. That's what you do when you get to the bottom, right? That was kind of the title of this show, and the point I want to drive home is that when you're at the bottom, ground yourself. Buy the dip. Double down. Right? When you feel it's the lowest of the low, that's when you need to be wise and be smart and move forward. Yield Farm Inc. 100%. I am now doing that. I am now a proud Inc. yield farmer. I have a very small little portion of a bag that I decided to put into that. And I've made more ink than I had before. You know what I mean? It's not much. It's fractions. But it's nice to see that happening. So Yes, that's what we do. His name on Twitter is Richard Hart Win. That hasn't changed either. All right. Hexicans building an inclusive freedom community. 100%. Hello. Hi. I love that there's a lot of new names that I haven't seen here before. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. Zuka, hello. Van, sir, excellent to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, that is sweet. I like to think so. I appreciate you, Zuka. Zuka said, you are a light in the darkness. RH Max, hello, darling. He says, I've been avoiding the noise on social media with some success. Going outdoors and keeping from getting distracted helps for sure. For sure. I spent some time with some family today. Spent some time just laying out in the sun. It was very nice. That's what we got to do. Hexicans building an inclusive freedom community says long game vision and brings peace of mind. Yes, 100%. All right, Max, people don't always show the best of themselves, but you also don't owe anyone anything, especially engagement or attention. And that's what I was saying, is that's the hard part sometimes, right? Is that I don't owe anyone anything. You know, I luckily I'm usually able to move on. There are times when I just want to reply. Like I had someone, you know, on one of my YouTube comments. 1 second. Someone on one of my YouTube comments, this same person over and over and over again was very upset that I have ads on for SciVive. They were like, "How dare you try to make money off of something that was free to everybody?" Let me tell you something. Doing the work that I did, most people would have asked for money for that. That's a job. Being a voice artist is a job. Being an editor is a job. Right? So, and on top of that, SciVive will not always be free. The reason I'm doing that work, because I am actually still working on SciVive. I'm going to talk about that maybe a little bit later. But the reason I'm doing this work is because Richard wants it to be a published book that you can buy. He wants to put it on Audible so you can buy it and listen to it, because he knows, and he says in SciVive, people value things more when they have to pay for them. Anyways, so this person just over and over again was just like upset that I had the ads turned on. And hey, shout out to people like RH Max who don't do that, right? I probably, to be honest with you, I'm probably going to turn the ads off of all the first version, the first one that I did, because that was totally amateur. Just sat there and read it because I knew I was going to read it anyways, and I was like, I might as well record myself. So I'll probably turn that one off. I'm going to leave the other one on because the time I did the narration, it was for Audible. It's for Audible. It's Audible quality. I edited it so that it can be ACX approved. Go look that up if you don't know what that means. And, you know, that was a lot of work. That was many hours of my time and energy. And I lost my train of thought. Yeah. All right. RH Max. It's always hard before it gets easier, I guess. Dude, Max, for real, like, here's the thing. And this is why I need to... I just wanted to vent a little bit today too, right? Because it's been a good 6 to 8 months of real just down. Everyone's down. Everything's bad. The price is down. Everyone hates each other. You know, of course, there's little light in this darkness. Thanks everyone for, you know, being here and being part of this little speck of light here. But, you know, I have these conversations with close friends, and it's not every day, right? Not every day is like this. Not every day do I feel like, man, there's no words. It's hard to put it into words because it just is disheartening. And you know, look, when we do the PulseChain tour, when we go to those events, it's a whole different world. Meeting up with people in real life that are on the same page as you, that have been through these battles, that have been in it longer than you have, you know, that have seen all these things come and go. That's, to me, that re-energizes me. So I'm an extrovert. I'm the kind of person that I go to a party, I get energized, right? I don't get drained, especially if it's my people, right? My kind of folks that are, you know, telling me, hey, Thank you for doing this, because I don't get to talk about any of this with anyone I know. I don't have family or friends that are interested in this. So because you throw these events, because these events happen, I get to, actually have a conversation with someone about something that I'm very passionate about. And to those people, I always say, good, now go start your own meetup in your own town, because that's what's going to continue this, right? That's how virality is going to happen. I digress. All right. I appreciate you and your bright light. Thank you, Max. Appreciate you too, friend. Philanthropy. Yeah, it was hard to say. I don't know why I couldn't get that word out. What's up, Hex Betty? Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Max says, I think being mission driven helps a lot. Every time I get distracted or annoyed, I'm reminded why I'm here. It's easier to keep going when it's not 100% about money every single day. That right there, Max, 100%. It's never been about money for me. When I got into Hex, it was a gamble. This was not my life savings. This was not my rent money. This was not money I needed. This was money that I had set aside for crypto specifically. And then I started putting more in that I had set aside for other things. If you don't know my story, little Reader's Digest version, I had put money aside for a 401k, for a high yield savings account, for options trading. Found Hex, thank you to Crypto Kool-Aid. Learned about it, took 6 months. And as those months went on, the more I learned about it, the more I thought, don't need 401k, don't need high yield savings account, don't need options trading. That's for damn sure. So all that went into Hex. I've been down 90 whatever percent ever since. And this is not a fake smile. I love my life. I love what I do. I live in a bus and I get to travel around telling people about PulseChain. I don't get paid. I mean, like, I get my life is I don't have rent. I don't have electric bill. I'm plugged into my mom's house right now. I don't have a water bill. What else do I not have? Children, no family. My lifestyle is very minimalistic. It's not always going to be like that. It hasn't always been like that. But I love that this is what I'm doing. I would much rather live in a bus and travel around than pay rent and work for someone that I don't want to work for, or do something that I'm not passionate about. So that's my mission. My mission is to see stadiums full of people talking about PulseChain. And I absolutely believe that that can happen, especially with the way this team, right? So RG, Kaylin, and I, the way that we get shit done and the vision that we have together, it's just gotten better and better over time, you guys. Like, I cannot say enough good things about those two individuals. They are my best friends. And we're an unstoppable force. That's for damn sure. So shout out to the PulseChain Tour team. I love you guys. All right. Spike. What's up, Spike? Hope you're still watching. Good to see you. I really, man, when I get a little more time, someday when all my NFTs that I'm working on are done, I really want to put more of your footage of that bus to use. Spike and I met on my travels, and he did some drone footage of me hanging out on the bus and dancing and stuff like that. So I got to make that happen. What's up, Crypto Compassion? Good to see you. What is going on? Everybody saying hi to everybody. Yeah, so I was right. So 2017 is what I thought. This is about SciVive right here. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Okay, good news. Yeah, or good to know. Orion says he was broadcasting SciVive in his Discord channel in 2017. Love this quote. From Crypto Compassion, a quote from Richard Hart says, "People are the end game." 100%. Yes, this is a great quote from RH Max. Every time I think it's a good time to complain, hey, listen. Every time I think it's a good time to complain, I'm like, how can I make it better? You do the work. Do the work. You do the work. Instead of sitting there and complaining, do something. Do something. Whatever it is that you're good at, do it. Go do it. All right. Tantaloid. I love that. Hey, all you new people. What is up? Thank you for coming to watch me rant. It's not always like this. I'm a little spicy today, but maybe that's good. So Trantaloid says, I listened to your reading of SciVive. It was great. I think Richard has a lot of points in the book. He may well have a high IQ and good advice, but his NPD BPD overshadows so much. What does that mean? I feel like I should know what that means. What is NPD BPD? Educate me. All right, Max. This was what I saw earlier that I was like, I gotta go back and read everything because of what Max says here. 1. All right, so I'm gonna continue from what he said earlier. So this was originally, Max says, every time I think it's a good time to complain, I'm like, how can I make it better? You do the work. 1, how can I make it better? Or 2, how can I avoid making it worse? How can I avoid making it worse? Sometimes just a change of scenery or doing a new thing, like fasting, yay, can pick things up. Fasting has been on my mind. I haven't done it in a minute. And the thing is, though, I always want to do fasting in a how do I put this the right way? Well, hey, we're gonna go down a little rabbit hole real quick. I was bulimic when I was in high school, and I had it wasn't terrible, didn't last very long. It wasn't maybe like a couple years, and it was not extreme. It wasn't extreme, but I did not have great body image. Mentally, I did not. Which is crazy. I think about myself. I look back on what I looked like in high school. Like I look a lot like I looked in high school now. And for those of you that don't know my story, I did I gained a lot of weight. I was over 200 pounds at one point, which is a whole other story. But so in high school, bulimia, right? And so having gone through having an eating disorder, and I'll add that I did relapse into that one more time in adulthood. I had an abusive partner, and he was very mentally and emotionally abusive. First, it got physical eventually, but he was mentally manipulative and was very concerned with the way I looked, way more so. And then, and I didn't look much different than I do now, but he just fucked me up so much psychologically in that he wanted me to look a certain way. He wanted my body to look athletic, which is the way he put it. And which kind of I guess meant like having abs or like what the fuck ever. So because of that pressure from this person who was supposed to love me and care for me, I relapsed into bulimia, and I was in my 30s. And again, did not last long, was not extreme, but I've had those, that weakness or that experience. So, fast forward to my life now, right? Last 5, let me see. God, longer than that. That's going to, let's see when all this happened. Hold on. I gotta 16, 17. So like within the last 7 years, my mental state, my body image, my who I am, what I'm doing in my life, all of it's been great. I haven't even thought or dealt with any of that shit in a good 7 years. And again, like I said, it was like high school, fine for many years, happened to get in my 30s, and then now I'm good. And I've just grown wonderfully in terms of the way I feed myself, the way I take care of my body, the things that I do, and the way that I react, and interact with food. So all of that to say, when I fast, I always want to make sure that it's coming from a place of health and not whatever that place of bulimia was. Because I know that can be kind of like, I don't know how to put it. Like, so, I'll just be honest with you. Right now, I'm a little overweight. No, people are going to go, no, you're not, SJ. Like for me personally, like I want to lose about 10 pounds. Not a lot, not difficult, right? But like over the holidays and over the last like probably year or two, my eating habits have been a little weird and like mixed up. And then I figured out I was eating too much. Wasn't eating bad. I have a wonderful diet. I eat very well. I eat very healthy. I eat very lean. I don't eat anything packaged or processed or high sugar content. I don't eat any of that. But I was doing like high meat, kind of carnivore and fat. I was just having too much, like in hindsight over the last like few months especially. I gained weight because I was having too much dairy. Like I was including a lot of milk. Again, none of this is bad. Milk, yogurt, butter, ghee, things like that. I just wasn't really controlling my portions and like wasn't um now that I'm a little more sedentary, right? Because the bus isn't on the road. I'm not traveling all the time. So my diet and my, everything's just kind of been like this. So to come full circle finally with Max talking about fasting and me bringing this up is that I have been thinking about fasting recently, but I don't want to yet because I'm trying to lose weight and I don't want to be fasting to lose weight. That's not like some people can do that. Some people want to do that. Maybe that's good for you. Maybe that's part of like what you want to do. But I know that if I try doing that or if I'm doing that mentally, that can take me I'm not again, I'm very strong-minded. But I always just want to be sure that I'm doing it when I'm healthiest, right? So I think I'm going to maybe lose a few more pounds first and then, when I feel like I'm in a better place and I'm exercising, when my diet is right, and I feel like everything's good and I'm in a better emotional state, right? Because I'm not right now. Like I'm not messed up, I'm not depressed, I'm not, like nothing's terrible. Again, very strong-minded. But I'm a little fragile right now, you guys. I'm a little frail. So, total tangent. That's what we're here for, though. Thanks for sticking in here. That doesn't sound right at all. Oh. Anyways, great clip. Yeah. I like this. All of it. Who knows, man? Here's the thing. I don't know. All of it. Needed clips for the community to see. Yes, I'm glad I shared them. Orion says, keep the faith, SJ, ignore the plebs, ignore the haters. I'm probably way behind on chat right now. The Hex Man says, you recorded the entire book when you didn't even know him. Yeah, I sure did. I wanted to know who Richard was. And like I said, I had around that same time, I was acting. I was doing commercial acting, background acting. I was doing stand-in work. So I was in the world of acting and knew of voice acting and voice actors. And also it was just after COVID. So as someone who had been doing acting and being on set and things like that, I mean, that work really dried up. So part of doing SciVive was I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll transition into doing vocal acting. This will kind of be my first like go at it and see how that goes. So I did it twice. I did it once, totally amateur. You can hear dogs barking and lawnmowers going and birds chirping and all sorts of things. And then the second time around, I took an audio book or an audio vocal, a class. I took one of them classes and I learned how to do it professionally. So that's why. What made me get into PulseChain specifically? So I got into HEX first. So Crypto Kool-Aid, who is a great friend of mine, I've known him for over 10 years. I only knew of him as Sweaty Dancing Larry. Like I love drum and bass, and we met while he was living in Austin, Texas. I met him on the dance floor at a club that I go to or went to every week to go listen to the drum and bass every week. And we both liked dancing kind of in the same spot. And I hated him at first. I mean, I didn't hate the strong word. I would very disliked him because he did all these crazy spins and he was always sweaty and just had this bandana and like just doing all this crazy shit. And I'm just like, I just want to like chill in my little corner. I just want to like dance in this tiny little spot right here, right? And he's like swinging around and I was just like, oh, who is this dude and why is he in my space? I was really in his space, to be honest with you, because he was there first. But anyways, I mean, and at some point he just introduces himself, and he's just a doll of a man. I love him so much. So we just got to know each other through dancing and drum and bass. And over the years, he found out at one point, I think I posted on Facebook that I had bought some Bitcoin. And this was in 2017. And I was like kind of excited about that. I've always been into tech just in general. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get into this and buy some Bitcoin. And I can't remember how. I know I bought it through Binance, but I can't remember. I don't think anyone showed me. I think I just kind of did that. And then he found out that I had done that and was like, oh, hey, I see that you're into this. And this is unbeknownst to me at the time. He's an ICO streamer, right? Like he's doing all this stuff and into all these things and, playing with all this crypto. And I had no idea about that part of his life at all. I just knew he was my friend. We do dancing. He's into crypto. He told me, take a little bit of that Bitcoin and put it into, and it wasn't much at all. And he was like, take some of that and put it into all these other little coins. And I screenshotted it the other day. I'm not going to bring it up, but it was like XR, those Ripple, Litecoin maybe, and a couple other things. So I took some of that Bitcoin, put it into other coins, and then completely forgot about it. Didn't pay attention to it. Didn't look at it. Left it for years. I probably made a ton of money and then lost it all and had no idea. So fast forward to HEX. I had sold my home, paid off my student loan debt, and was looking for a way to invest. And I for anyone who's seen me and watched me several times, you all know this story already. So thanks for listening again. But I wanted to be smart about where I was putting that money. I wanted to know that it was going to be put to work for me. And so, like I said earlier, I found all these, high yield savings, 401k, options trading. Oof, dodged that bullet. As I was 80% of the way through my options trading class, Crypto Kool-Aid comes to me and says, hey, remember all those little coins I told you to diversify in? He had remembered that, right? That mega brain. He didn't know I had sold my house. He had no idea that I had, a chunk of change sitting there. And he was like, I want you to take all those little coins, all that money you put into those little coins and put it into HEX. And part of me, I already knew I was going to put some of that into crypto. And part of me was so busy with learning options trading and like doing financial things, and I was doing acting and things like that. And I was just like, oh, hey, could I just give you a couple $100 and have you, do that for me? And he was like, no, it's your money. You need to know what you're doing with it. You need to know where it's going, and you need to know how this works. And I am so grateful. He knows I love him. Larry, thank you for the fact that he did that, because that's how all of this started for me. If he hadn't said, no, I want you to learn. I'm your friend. I know you trust me, but I want you to learn. I want you to take custody. I want you to know your keys, not your keys, not your coins. So to answer this question, the community. That's why I chose all of this. Because a great friend of mine told me there's other people out there that I want you to listen to. And I started listening to them, and I got involved in the community because other people in the community said what I say. We need you. We need your voice. We need your certain flavor. Whatever it is that you do that you're good at, that you want to tell people about and maybe get in front of a camera and do it, we need you to do that. And if any of you at any time are interested in doing that and want to have a little bit of experience, come on my show anytime. Like, I'm about it. Come on F and Hangout. F and Hangout's been running for over 4 years now, every Friday night. Open invite. Test your camera out. Test your microphone out. Test your thoughts out. Come talk to us, right? Whiskey Wednesday. Shout out DGen Roundtable, right? They do an open stream every Wednesday. They're not the only ones. There are many more stream. I think I just saw Pulse Ray Vision formerly known as Hex Revision, did something very similar. Was like, hey, I'll throw the link in the chat. Come on, hang out. Let's go. Right? We want to encourage that kind of growth. We want to encourage you spending your time doing more of this. I like all these tangents tonight. How are you guys doing? How are you doing? Can I get some hearts in the chat? I'm way behind in the chat, so I'm going to try and run through this a little bit quicker now. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Operation Shutdown says good evening. Matt says you're the best. Appreciate you, friend. Yeah. Not financial advice, but smart stuff. Oh, look who it is. What's that name? You got to change that shit, though. We all need to vent sometime. Yeah, we do. Freaking A. Narcissistic personality versus borderline. I kind of thought that's what that meant, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know about borderline for sure. Maybe he's a bit of a narcissist, but that's fine. He should be. He's brilliant. All right. Aaron St. Pierre, what's up? Good stuff. Good morning. Where are you at, Pineapple? It's nighttime here for me. I'm curious. I am a rock. That's why I was in the dirt. Because I'm such a rock. I just belong in the dirt. But that's where you turn into a gemstone, bitch. You're in the dirt and there's all this pressure and all this erosion and who knows what else. And then you turn into a beautiful crystally gemstone. I feel like I have a gemstone near me somewhere. I don't. I fail. That's all right. I do. Oh, I do. I have selenite. Oh, look at this. This is where I keep all my... Who's a hippie? I'm a hippie. So this is selenite. It's good for cleansing things. So I have all my precious jewelry. This is onyx. This is shungite. This is... Oh, I forgot what these two are. It's like a blue tiger's eye, but it's called something else. And this is fluorite right here. So it's all being cleansed. So this is what we become. All these beautiful gemstones. Oh, put that right back over there. Hold on. I gotta make sure I do this right. I don't want to mess anything up. Okay, there we go. Ooh, speaking of beautiful gemstones, I forgot I had these here. This is charoite. Does my camera do cute, cool things like that? No, this is not a great camera. Not fancy like Richard Hart's. Oh, look at that. There you go. That's pretty. So there you go. Charoite. Little lesson in gemstoneology for all you boys and girls. All right. What's next? Oh yeah, BitBoy, he's doing a lot of videos about PulseChain. He's got a lot of different community members coming through talking about things. You know, I don't know. I like that more people are coming on board. That's what I like. I'll put that there. Oh, very cool. This is good to know. The DJ Roundtable started a fitness stream, which is hosted by Agent J. Very cool. If you would like to put that link in the chat, please do. I am not opposed to that. There's rumors. Could be. Oh, this is sweet. This was one of the greatest compliments that I've ever received. This is not the only one that said this. Wow, that's awesome. Glad you're with us. And FYI, I fell asleep to your voice many nights listening to SciVive. Sweet dreams. I love it. No, I got, that was probably one of the best compliments that I got, and I got that often. The two highest compliments I received was people falling asleep to my voice, and more than one person with dyslexia or some kind of reading issue reached out to me and said, I wouldn't have had SciVive if it wasn't for you, because I can't, they couldn't read. So they had to listen to it. So that was super cool. Oh my God. This Crypty girl. She is Truth be told, Crypty Girl is the first influencer that I fangirled over. Like, I was just like, that's Crypty Girl. That's Crypty Girl. Oh, and shout out to you. Hold on. Hold on. Hold the phone. It's right here. It's right here. Oh my God. I've been wearing this like every day. This was a gift. So Crypty Girl, in case you did not know, she's got her own clothing store with many very awesome Hex and PulseChain merchandises. And this is one of them. Hex. Very cool jacket that she gave to me. It's got a zipper. Would you look at that? You fit a whole hand in there. Look at that. And this is my favorite part. I'm a sucker for hoodies that have the thumb thing. I don't know why, but that is my favorite. I love it. I love it. You know what else I love? Y'all. I do. I really do. I'm really glad that I came and did this because, like I said, it's been a really long time. And I feel like I'm one of the few. Not one of the few. Let me take that back. I'm definitely not one of the few. There are a lot of very positive people in this community. I think I'm one of the loudest about it. I'm one of the ones that kind of shouts, you know, I've what's the word I'm looking for? I've built my brand around it. I mean, and this was from the start. This is just who I am. So this is who I decided to bring in front of y'all on this stream every time that I stream. So shout out to everyone out there building something, doing something good, being positive, right? Remember that when you feel down, when you're getting hate, other things. Hold on. All right, oh gosh. All right. Let me keep going with the chat, and then I have a thing I have to do before I forget. Speaking of people building things. Gems and what it means. Hey, so random, look at me going on little tangents. If anybody knows anybody in our community that makes gemstone jewelry, let me know. Leave a comment, hit me up in a DM, send me a link, because I have an idea for a necklace that I'd really like to make, and I need someone who works with gemstones like turquoise, amethyst, things like that. Danny boy, yeah, good to see you. Jim Short says, thank you for being so easy on the soul, SJ. That's sweet. Thanks. Because I get the other compliment as well. I click buttons. Hey, thank you for tuning in on X. I click buttons. I appreciate you. If anyone else is out there in X land, drop me a comment, say hello. Come subscribe on YouTube as well. Pretty please. Smash the like, do all the things that Rags never wants you to do. I will take every single like, comment, and subscription that Rags to Riches does not want. Shout out to that man, by the way. Brandon, love you. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for being a voice of reason, and just he's so level-headed. I think Rags is one of my I don't watch content much at all. When I do, I'm in there, I'm probably driving, I'm usually doing something else. I'll hop into chat and say hello. I love supporting other influencers, but I don't have a lot of time to do that. And I also don't, I like, and this is a SciVive thing, right? I want to focus on creating content rather than consuming content most of the time. It is important to have a balance for sure. But also, so anyways, the point of that is that I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of Rags to Riches content recently, but I see him tweeting out there, and I've just, over the years, I think he has been one of the most solid dudes in this space. I know I'm going to miss someone, but I'm going to give you like my top 5 right now. Top 5 dudes, because dudes are, like the majority here. And there's all the ladies that got you here too. Brandon from Rags to Riches, RG3, Crypto Coffee. I had everyone in my head just a second ago. I just lost him. RH Max, Eco Builder, top 5. Don't get hurt if I didn't see your name. I love all of you. But those 5 people, I think, are pillars in our community. do more. Matty Allen, you're right there too. Matty Allen. look at on one hand. Matty Allen's been a lot too. And the reason I bring up Matty is because I'm about to talk about his the thing that he's doing. But those are people that I've seen do more for this community with the least amount of thanks and the least amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they don't expect anything. Like, okay, I'm not going to name names or make things worse, but I've seen people in this community be like, give me credit. Tell me, you know, like, oh, hey, I did this thing. Like, don't you see me? Don't you see me? Right? They don't care. Those dudes couldn't care less if you see them or not. They want you to because they're out. That's why they're out there doing it. But whether they get credit or not is not what they're after, right? They're here being leaders in this community and doing things for this community all day, every day for years. A lot that, like, those men have put their heart, sweat, and tears into this space, and I'm grateful for that. I'm going on lots of tangents, and you love it. What's next? I was totally going somewhere with some other things. I know there's the Matty Allen thing that I have to talk about. Let's bring that up. So here's what I'm going to do. Matty Allen has got, and you know, Matty, if you ever watch this, I apologize in advance because I have not paid, like I said, and this is, you know, case in point, not watching, you know, Rags to Riches content. I've every now and then I'll tune into Matty Allen's show, but I have not really been following a lot of what he's doing. I know he's done Time Pays Me, and he just did a sacrifice, but now he's got this like reverse sacrifice thing going on. So I'm super interested to see what this is. And this is the tweet that I want to share with you guys from him. So let me present this real quick. Share screen. Ding, 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 ding. All right. So Matty Allen says, first reverse sacrifice free claim is live. Exclusive to PulseChain. He says, it's my turn to prove how much I believe in you. Play step 1 of my DSci game proof of PulseChain. I like that already. Drop a fresh Ether Pulse address below. I can send Pulse to pay for the next game, or find the next, puzzle piece. Oh, I get it. Okay, I can send Pulse to pay for the next puzzle piece. Find the next puzzle piece at Time Pays Me. Here's the link, Time Pays Me. Until your Pulse and puzzle piece arrive, help a crypto, I hope I'm getting this right. Help a crypto friend or no coiner join the game. Onboarding. Brilliant. Help them post a fresh address too from their own X account. Limit 1 per person. Every fresh address we get is another voice being added to the list of people who believe in the freedom to receive crypto with no expectations. End of story. P.S. All right, let's see. If I want to even go into this, I'll let you guys. I'll let you all read the rest of that. This was what I wanted to do. My due diligence right here is talk about whatever Matty's doing with this reverse sacrifice, which is a very interesting concept. So I want to look into that a little bit more, and you know, that's just another showcase of someone out there who's been putting in the work and doing the work for years, and is still doing it regardless of all the hate. I'm sure he got. I didn't pay attention. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was not. I think we were actually putting on an event when Matty started his sacrifice. And he got a lot of shit for that. He got a lot of hate for it, and you know that it's probably, it was, you know, the timing of it all, right? Like, I get it. That's it's, everyone feels wrecked, and no one has, you know, a lot of us don't have any extra or anything to give to do something like that for. But hey, there are people that do, and that have, and that want to support and can support that way. And here's another thing I wanted to bring up, because I thought about this, especially because I saw a comment from someone about when I was really hurting because of the bus. Little Reader's Digest version of that story. Because we started the tour, and this was 2023, we started the tour, and I had brakes done on the bus. The first time I got them done, they did them wrong. I couldn't stay at that mechanic because we had to keep going for PulseChain. I drove with shoddy brakes from Northern California to Oregon. Got the brakes done again in Southern Oregon. And I had another between those two stops, I had another issue happen, and that was actually what the guy in Oregon fixed. And then I asked him, I was like, "Hey, I just had my brakes done and they're not right. Can you look at them and see if you can get them done?" He charged me the same parts and labor that I paid the first time. I had to leave because from between Northern California and Portland, like I didn't have a lot of time for us to get to the next destination for the next thing. Finally, in Portland, a Mexican who owned a business, had his own mechanic for his business, had me go to his mechanic shop, and I paid again, parts and labor. I paid 3 times for a brake job. I paid $3,000 3 times for one brake job that the original people fucked up, and I couldn't do much about it because I had to keep going on the tour. I put all that on a credit card and was just hopeful that the tour would be great during a bear market and we'd make so much money it wouldn't be an issue. I'm still paying that debt down because the interest is so much that the interest payment is half of the payment I make every month on it. So Crypto Claus heard me lamenting about this, and and there was tons of other issues like that bus, this bus, Hi Sweet Bus, I love you. Bless this bus's soul. I paid for lots of other work to get done as that continued, but that was just one debt that like I just still am not right, like slowly digging myself out of this freaking hole. So I saw someone comment today on some thread talking about how they had unfollowed me when I was asking for people to pay my bills. So they unfollowed me. I say all of this to say that I cannot wait for the day that I get to gift that kind of money to other people. And I get it. It was during a bear market. No one had extra funds, even like for all these little projects and things, right? But, far be it from me to to assume that there wasn't some sweet soul out there that wanted to help out, and people did like there were I had little bits and pieces that helped chunk that down, right? But at the same time it's a burden, like it sucks, and I do what I do out of my own time and energy. I don't ask to get paid. I don't. In fact, I take a back seat to getting what I'm worth and what I should be getting paid because I know that there are other more important things or projects or people that need that more than I do. Because again, bus life, no kids. I'm cool. I'm chill. Like I eat well. I eat sweet potatoes and lamb meat and ground lamb, and I don't eat out. I go to beauty schools to get my hair done. I don't go get my nails done. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I shop at thrift stores. Hey, shout out to this thrift store. Hold on, wait for it. All right. In case you haven't heard of this place yet, online thrift store. ThredUp. So freaking cool. I love this because I no longer have to spend hours. I mean, not hours. I don't like shopping, period. And over the last few years, I have really been a stickler for material. So like this is organic cotton. I wear mostly organic cotton. Now, ThreadUp, you can go and you can put organic cotton, merino wool, linen, bamboo. You can put that in the search bar and it'll bring up all these pieces of clothing that are made of the material that I want. So I don't have to stand there in a thrift store, checking out the hangers, looking at the tags. Oh, it's just fucking polyester, fucking acrylic, fucking, nylon, rayon. Like, I don't wear that shit. Like this. This one came from ThreadUp. It's 95% bamboo. You're not going to be able to see that. Oh, yeah, you can. There you go. Bamboo. Doesn't look as cute on me as I had hoped, but you can't try shit on in the thrift stores anymore anyways because of COVID. So that is just really what I wanted to say, is that I really am looking forward to the day when I get to be the one to say, hey, I see you, right? I see you out there. I see you putting in the work. I see you doing all these things. Let me there's got to be a better word than this, but the word that comes to mind is let me bless you with this, right? Let me thank you with this. Let me give this to you and say, hey, like you've been out there doing this for years. So, here's a little something to help you along the way. And of course it's hard to discern, right? Like you don't know me. Y'all don't know me. You don't, like, I don't know, this could be a stage. I could not be in a bus. It could all be a sham. It's all a sham. I could be part of the cabal, right? Like, I mean, do what you can when you can. That's what's important. Just keep that in mind. Keep spreading positivity. What are we at here? Oh, it has felt like it's been 2 hours, but let's see. Oh, Crypty Girl. Hi. Hey. She says, I love you. She told me she loved me. She says, that's awesome. I'm glad you like the jacket. I love the jacket. I do. Hello, friends. Hello. Tech. I hope I'm saying that right. Just Techken, right? I hate that every time, I'm pretty sure you're the same Tekken that's on X. Every time you put a GIF on my posts, it doesn't block you, but it's like this comment is hidden. It still does that. I don't understand why. It makes me sad. Benny says hit the thumbs up. 100%. Hello, Benny Blanco. Good to see you. Omar, hello. Hello, Hexagon Hill. Good to see you. May your gains be mad and plentiful. And Crypty Girl says, hey, my order linen clothes from ThreadUp. Right, girl? It's brilliant. It is brilliant. I did have, this was my second box from them that I ordered. I did have a mix-up this time. I ordered a packed organic dress. Super cute. It had like it ties in the back and then comes down. It's like a little A-line dress. And it was like one of those things is like what I wanted, what I got. Oh, so that was what I wanted. I just kind of explained it to you. And what I got was this. I had to complain. Because first of all, the packed dress was 100% organic cotton. This, first of all, is not a dress. If I can hold it back further. There's armpit stains, not a dress, right? Like this is a tank top at most. Like this is not going, that goes to like my belly button. Oh, my little friend has fallen. No, Creek, no. Isn't he the cutest? Anyways, and also this is acrylic and something else, and I was like, excuse me, this is not what I wanted. It's not. Lastly, because I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this PulseChain tour, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be in Canada. I'm excited. I've never been to Canada. I really wanted to look into the Victoria area and Vancouver years ago. I thought that would be a really lovely place to maybe live someday, and never got a chance to go there, but I'm going. We're going to Vancouver, Canada. We get there on Friday the 3rd. The event is Saturday the 4th, and then we have another day of hanging out in that general area. So if you are in or near Vancouver, Crypty Girl, I mean, you're not like forever far from there. You might be not in Canada. Sorry, I'm not going to talk about where anybody lives anymore. But anyways, If you are in that general area and or have the time and energy to come to Vancouver, please do. It's going to be lovely. If you didn't hear about it, we gave away, pardon me. It's not just mine, even though it's my work. We gave away a free NFT. I believe that's still going on. I actually don't think we've dropped them yet, but if you want a free NFT that is a PulseChain Tour NFT, you can do that by signing up to our mailing list. There's a form. Let me see if I can find the form. I'll just put the form in the chat. Here is the form. Ding, 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 ding. Boop. There we go. So check out that form, and you too can have a free NFT all to yourself. For sure. So, what else? Europe. Y'all, Europe is going to be amazing. I bought a backpack for Europe for my little backpacking adventure. And so this is the funny thing. We'll probably talk about this on the next PulseChain Tour Tuesday. But my wardrobe, everything that I wear fits in these two cabinets and this cabinet. This one. I have one big bag here, back here. Oh, these magnets. All right. See that? That's full of dresses because I wear mostly dresses. All right. And then this is like pants and shirts and other things, right? All my wardrobe. That's my entire wardrobe. That's other than what I'm wearing, and I have a few pieces of something over there. It's everything I wear. So for me to pack for Europe, it's going to be so funny because I already use packing cubes. So I'm going to take like, I don't know, like a fifth of my wardrobe, and I'm going to like put it in my backpack. It's hilarious to me because I see like RG starting to he's all excited, right? He's getting ready for Europe and he's got his own packing cubes and stuff. And it's like he's putting stuff in packing cubes, and for him it's like, oh yeah, I can fit like 1/100th of my gigantic closet full of clothes into these packing cubes and be good for a couple weeks. So I don't feel like even when I get to actualize some gains, I don't know that this is going to change too much. I like the freedom of living in the bus. I know I won't always live in a bus. Portugal, I'm coming for you. But in terms of material stuff, clothing and things like that, I really started to take on the principles of feng shui at a young age. I learned that, or understood that, everything has energy. Everything around us has energy because we give energy to it, because it's in our space, because it's part of, our life. So when you have stuff in storage, when you have things in the closet you haven't worn for years, when you've got things that are broken, and sitting in a pile, I'll fix that someday, or I'll use that someday, or I'll do something with that someday. Are you? Wouldn't it be better if you could free up that space, free up that energy, take those things and donate them? If I haven't worn something, for me, it's like 3 months. If I haven't worn it in 3 months, it's gone. My wardrobe is constantly revolving, which is why I and this is the cool thing, is that I'm transitioning from just shopping at thrift stores and getting things that are spending too much time looking for higher quality things. And now with something like ThreadUp, I can get higher quality clothing for cheaper because it's secondhand, and not have to worry about, like if it's going to fit, if I'm going to have room for it, right? Because another principle of feng shui is this it's interesting that this 80-20, 80%, 20% principle happens in many spaces, many places. Like, I can't remember the Japanese term for it. Hachi. No, I can't remember. It's basically the principle of eating until you're 80% full. Well, it similarly in feng shui, save 20% of the space. Leave 20% of your drawers empty. Have 20% of your closet empty. So that way you have room for more. And then when you get the more, say goodbye to something else. Speaking of saying goodbye, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Dante. Oh, look. Oh, look at all the friends. What's up, Matty Allen? I just talked about Time Pays Me. I hope you got to see that. I did mention it. RG says, no, I someday will cone, I swear. What? What are you saying? Dante Jr. says, talking about clothing when I come in. Love it. Yeah. Oh, so speaking of clothing and stuff, man. So Dante is my favorite clothing merchant because, and Dante, Hex Fashion Network. Can I get a hoodie in organic cotton? Please? Can I have an organic cotton hoodie? So I say that because in his Hex Fashion merchant store, I'm going to link that too. hexfashion.store. He has organic 100% organic t-shirts. I shared your tweet, Matty Allen. Someday will come. Oh, someday will come. I get you. All right. So yeah, organic t-shirts, love them. They're the only t-shirts that I wear. I get free t-shirts from many people. Don't be mad if you're someone that gives me free t-shirts and I don't wear them. But I just have this thing. I just prefer wearing organic cotton. I really do. Or organic whatever, or bamboo, things that aren't plastic, because we already have enough microplastics. Ugh, look at the whole rabbit hole, but I'm not going to do it. Dante, I'm doing great. I'm really lovely. I get to see you. No, I don't. You're not on this side of Canada. That makes me sad. You should fly over. Come to Canada. Let's meet. It'd be great. I'm going to give you a hug to thank you for all the t-shirts because they're wonderful. Bit Finesse, Hare Hachibu, thank you. That is the 80% full. Eat until you're 80% full. Hare Hachibu. Appreciate you, friend. I hope you're doing well, Bit Finesse. We haven't spoken in a minute. I see you creeping here and there, but I hope you are wonderful and things are going great for you. You are also a very positive, wonderful light in this space, and I appreciate your existence. Oh, speaking of you, I'm eating all the sweet potatoes all day long. That's like my diet now. So I eat a sweet potato and then some kind of protein and maybe some greens almost every day. And you helped encourage that a little bit. So I appreciate that. Don't laugh. Why are you laughing? Oh, RG3. I need all my broken, useless stuff. You don't, though. You don't. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Just give it all to Goodwill. What will I move from one side of my crotch to the other? That's what I'm saying. You clean all that stuff out, and then you have room. The universe sees that effort and says, oh, let's get RG3 that motorcycle that he's always wanted. That's what can fit where all that useless junk is that you don't need, that you're not going to use, that's not going to get fixed. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been a treat being here with you all. I hope you've enjoyed every moment of it just as much as I have. My three stooges, my little three friends here. I am really going to go now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to say, but I think I really said it all. I really did. That was a lot to go over and digest. And, more than anything, I just want to continue to encourage you guys to build something good, do something positive, be a light, because we need more light. We do. And the darkness is always going to be there. The darkness is always going to be there. And remember that there's not much you can do. That sounds sad. Like, you can't do anything about it. And I mean that in the sense that it's not worth your time. You as a light, it's not worth your time or energy to try to fight the darkness, because you already just are a light. Just be you. Be the light. That's how you change things. That's how you fix it, is you be the change that you want to see in the world. All right, boys and girls, that's enough warm fuzzies for one day. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. Thank you for being here. Leave a comment, say hello, give me some other warm fuzzy feeling, because I need it. I really do. I think we all do. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say everything is fantastic and I feel like I'm over the moon, because I don't. I am great. Things are wonderful. But again, getting those little comments and seeing these little fights and seeing people that there were several people today that I respect and admire and I think are doing great things. And I saw from each of them just being jerks to one another, or, fanning the flames of hatred and ridiculousness. It's useless. That does nothing. That is of no use. Stop it. The Positivity Princess says, I don't want any more of that. So, pulsechaintour.com. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Y'all are wonderful, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye. Oh, I gotta press the button twice. End it.